Hello and welcome to another episode of the Adobe Photoshop tutorial brought to you by OneLearn. In the previous video, we talked about the lasso tool, polygonal lasso tool, and the magnetic lasso tool and how we can use them. But in this video, we're going to be focusing on using the quick selection tool and the magic wand tool. These are actually amazing tools that work with colors on the pixels of our workspace. And we're going to talk about how to use the two tools, and we're probably going to end up complementing these tools. That means we're going to work with the two tools together just to show you how you can blend when working with we're trying to select a particular area on your workspace. Now we are moving on to the next tool, the fourth tool on our tools panel. The first tool there is the quick selection tool. Of course, it's grouped as the other previous two. So the first tool there is the quick selection tool. The second tool is the magic wand tool, and we are going to be talking about how to use the quick selection tool and the magic wand tool. Let's start with the quick selection tool. First things first, you have to select the layer in which you want to make your quick selection. Now the quick selection tool works with the brushes, which makes it actually pretty amazing, which means you can actually increase or reduce the size of your brush. You can also increase and reduce the with the hardness of your brush. Now hardness is basically about like adding a feather or a softened edge when you're making a selection. Okay, but we'll get there. Let's work on using the quick selection tool. Now to use the quick selection tool, all you have to do is click on the particular place you want to select from and drag your mouse all over. And the quick selection tool will help you select the area using the color around where you have successfully clicked. The quick selection tool will automatically just help you select the area around where you have clicked with your mouse. Now, as you can see in this video, sorry, let me do that again. Okay, increase the brush size a little bit. Slowly this time. Okay. Sorry for the slow speed of my selection, but as always, this is a little bit slow, so forgive me for that. Now let's move on with my selection. You can see that the selection is actually trying to take the shape of the bulb. Okay, now you can see I have, although it's not perfect, but I have selected the black areas. Let me zoom in. You can see I have selected the black area. Remember, I used my quick selection tool to select the black areas on the workspace, on the project I'm working on. You can see that it actually selected some of these white parts. I can remove it by coming over here, clicking on this one with the minus. You can see a plus down here, you can see a minus here. Click on the minus and then start clicking all over again. Just click on the part you want to remove. There we go. You can see it's not perfect, but it actually made quite a good selection. Now the quick selection tool works with colors, so it actually selects areas that have similar color. If you want to select from scratch, you use this one. If you want to select and add to the selection you've already made, you use this one. If you want to subtract from selection, you use this one. Now if you want to change your brush size is very, very important when making selection on using the quick selection tool. The brush size is very important, which is this. Now you can increase or reduce your brush size. The more you let me do this, the smaller your brush size, the your quick selection tool will not be able to pick a large area when you are selecting or you're moving around with your cursor. So if you pick a larger size, you can see you'll be able to select a large area at a particular time. It all depends on how you want to work. If you want to remove a small area like this black space in between the white colors, you can, if you want to select this, it will be advised that you use a smaller brush. But if you want to select a large area like this black working space over here, it advises you use a larger brush. Now that's a larger brush size. Now if you want to work with hardness, hardness is just basically about softening the edge of your selection. If you increase your hardness, your edge will be very soft, which means that when you're selecting this edge, it will take the edge perfectly. But if you reduce the hardness, the edge will be so soft it will blend this black and this white, to making it look like a should I say a softened edge. Okay, now that's how you work with your quick selection tool. I'm going to move on to the magic wand tool. Now the magic wand tool, like the name implies, basically works like magic. I'm going to use this first to get started. Now let's just see how it works. If you want to use the magic wand tool, all you have to do is move your mouse cursor around, look for where you want to select and click on it. That's it, just a single click, and wait for magic wand tool to do the rest. It will select areas of similar color, looking for edges, just like that. So easy. You can see that the black area has been selected. Now I'm going to open, to better explain this, I'm going to open another project file. Sorry, open. Okay, let me use this. I'm going to unlock this by double clicking on the lock button. We'll talk about that later. Now I want to select the area around this woman without selecting her, so I'm going to just click on the background. If you look at this, you'll notice that the selection actually selected the area with similar color, selecting this place because it has a similar color. Now this place it didn't select. If you look at it very well, we didn't select this side, didn't select this side, because the color here is different from the color in the middle. Now if you want to select all of them, I would advise to use the add tool, which is add to selection tool. When you click on one side and it selects, you can as well click on other sides, and you see that the tool basically just selects all the colors for you perfectly. Now you can see the selection. I can easily remove or crop out this woman from the layer if I want to, because our magic wand tool has been able to help us. Oh, I just noticed a little thing. You can see that this area has been selected by a magic wand tool. To remove it, I'm going to click on this. Okay, there we go. Our magic wand tool is now being really perfect right now. You can see that it's finding it difficult to differentiate between the color of this woman and the background. Now what I'm going to do next, I would advise we use the quick selection tool. I'll reduce the brush size a little bit. Click on add. Okay. Using the brush size, and there we have it. It's done. It's been selected using the quick selection tool. So you can see how these tools actually blend themselves, making it easy for you to work on Adobe Photoshop. So if you want to select anything, this is how you use the selection tools. There are three selection tools. This one here, three selection tools group. We have this group here that has a rectangular, elliptical, single row, and single column marquee tool, or you can use the lasso tools, polygonal lasso tool, the magnetic lasso tool, or quick selection tool, and the magic wand tool. Now these are the selection tools we have on Photoshop. You can use any of them to select an area, and then you can work on that particular area that has been selected. So that is how you work with selection tools in Photoshop. In the next video, we'll move on to cropping a picture on Adobe Photoshop application. In this video, we talked about using the quick selection tool and the magic wand tool. These are tools that work with the colors on the pixels of our workspace, and we worked with blending the quick selection tool and the magic wand tool. That means we use the both of them together. In the next video, we're going to be talking about using the crop tool. The crop tool is an amazing tool, and we're going to be moving on from using selection tools now to using crop tools.